The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is the phone that I've been most excited to review this year, and I've been using this for about a week now, and did it live up to its hype? What are the pros and cons? Should you upgrade? Should you pre-order? It's time to give you my thoughts. Hi, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, and over the last decade, I've made it my job to show people around the world that tech can be easy, fun, and exciting. On this channel, I give you special access to the gadgets I review, the places I go, the things that bring me joy, and all the interesting people I get to meet along the way. So if you're in the market for a new foldable smartphone, give this channel a like and subscribe, and I'll help you find the right one, maybe this one, to match your needs. This is our Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 review. Last week, Samsung unveiled the Fold 7 and Flip 7 at a launch event here in Brooklyn. It was so cool to have friends from all over the world visit. And so I spent a lot of last week spending quality time with them. I went on photo walks with Brandon, who mostly does Apple-related videos on YouTube, and one of my best friends, Ayush, who is a famous TV presenter based in Mumbai. I also hung out with my loves, Frank and Katarina, who are TikTok superstars. You'll catch glimpses of them in this video. I actually started filming a 24-hour first impressions video, but decided to spend a little more time with the device to put together a full review that hopefully can help you decide if you're going to take advantage of one of those awesome pre-order deals going on. If you use our links, even if you don't have anything to trade in, you will automatically get $350 in credit, which you can use on Samsung.com. For example, you can get a Galaxy Watch 8 and a case for free. Watch till the end of this video for all of the details and make sure to use our links below. Before we continue, here's a brief message from our sponsor. This isn't just another pair of earbuds. The V-Aim Open Note is my new secret for meetings, calls, and even face-to-face interviews. I can long press over here and instantly start recording for a real-time transcription. Using this phone shortcut, you can also transcribe phone calls or videos that you watch on your phone. That's how I transcribed the entire Samsung keynote. No need for messy notes. I get a clean transcript faster than I can type. It auto-formats the text, highlights key points or to-dos, gives me a summary, and it can also translate up to 16 languages, which is a godsend, especially when I'm writing scripts or doing an interview with multilingual guests. It's like having a personal secretary doing work behind the scenes. The V-Aim Open Note is comfortable too. Designed using data from over 10,000 ear shapes, it's built for all-day wear and lasts up to 19 hours on a single charge, or up to 53 hours with the charging case. And if ever I forget to charge, just 10 minutes in the case gives me 3 more hours of battery life. At home, I'm constantly switching between my MacBook Air and my Fold 7, and these handle it effortlessly, even if they're two different platforms. They connect to 2 devices simultaneously and automatically switch to whatever it is I'm using. Calls sound clear thanks to the 4-mic noise cancellation that filters out background noise while keeping my voice front and center. So whether I'm at the supermarket, on the subway, or even out for a walk, I can confidently take calls. It's actually IP55 rated too, so it can withstand excessive sweating. Best of all, there's smart audio leak protection, so I don't need to worry about leaking any sensitive info while I'm taking calls out and about. If you want to work smarter, make sure to check out the V-Aim Open Note. I'll make sure to put a link in the description box below. All right, we can't talk about the Galaxy Fold 7 without talking about its redesign, and finally is an understatement. This is last year's Galaxy Z Fold 6, and on its 6th attempt, one could say it's pretty refined already. But while rivals in Asia like Oppo and Vivo began pushing more sensible designs, Samsung, which we shouldn't forget is the pioneer in the foldable space, has decided to not rock the boat. And the Fold 6, while sleek, was still too narrow, too chunky, and too heavy. Earlier this year, Oppo launched the Find N5. It was as wide, as thin, and as light as a regular smartphone. And many reviewers, me included, said something like, "This is the first foldable that I really wanted to use." The Find N5 was one of my favorite phones this year, and the only bad thing I had to say about it was that it's not available in Europe and North America, leaving the door wide open for Samsung to step in. And step in they did. The new Galaxy Fold 7 is everything a foldable should be. Wide enough, slim enough, and light enough. It's 5 millimeters wider, 3.2 millimeters thinner, and 24 grams lighter. And in the last week that I've used the phone out and about, all of that has made a huge difference. It feels just like any slim and light bar phone, all while keeping that sleek Samsung aesthetic that's understated, elegant, and sexy. In the hands, you can tell it's premium and such a joy to keep picking up and use. It's probably the most premium foldable that I've ever used. And as someone who wants a phone that will go well with any outfit or can hold its own alongside my favorite bags, I'm happy to report this Fold 7 definitely makes a statement and is luxe in every sense of the word. I've been rocking this blue one, which is a dark royal blue. It has that pop of color while still feeling grown up. It's also available in silver and black, which are more classy and elegant. And if you buy on Samsung.com, there's also an online exclusive color called Mint, which is like a faint Tiffany blue. Now, some relevant feedback after a week of use. I wonder how much lighter it could have been had Samsung chosen to use titanium instead of armor aluminum like on the S25 Edge. Despite its thinness, the camera bump is still sizable, and because it's flush to one side, open or close, this is one very wobbly phone when placed on a table. It cannot and will not lie flat. It's so annoying and my only gripe about this phone's design. While I love how much more premium the Fold 7 feels, I still prefer the Find N5 because it's a wee bit wider with softer curved corners. More importantly, its less pronounced center-aligned camera bump makes it rock less on a table. Speaking of, one of the compromises of foldable phones is that their cameras aren't as good as their candy bar counterparts. So it's absolutely delightful that Samsung gave the Z Fold 7 a main camera using the same 200 megapixel sensor as its top-of-the-line phone. Obviously, I was curious if it's a big jump from the Z Fold 6 and if it's comparable to the S25 Ultra. So let's take a look at some comparisons. While at first glance, photos taken on both phones look very similar, but when you zoom in, you'll find that photos taken using the Fold 7 have more detail and better HDR. Even in low light, the changes aren't dramatic, but are definitely an improvement. And yes, they are very similar to photos taken using the main camera on the S25 Ultra. The Fold 7 has two other cameras. I love that the ultra-wide-angle camera has autofocus now, even if hardware is otherwise the same. That way, you can get macro shots like this. If you like zoom, hardware on the telephoto camera remains the same as last year, so the improvements only come via an updated Pro Visual Engine. Here's what 1x looks like, and now 3x optical. You can zoom even more digitally. Here's 10x, 20x, and 30x. Overall, the Fold 7 does a good job at taking photos. Samsung was smart to give the main camera an upgrade without pushing too hard elsewhere. Online, I've read comments that Samsung should have given the Fold 7 a periscope camera and 5x optical zoom, and while that might have been nice, I think it takes away from what makes the Fold 7 a great phone, how thin and light it is. I think owners of foldable phones have different priorities. The best cameras on a smartphone are not at the top of their list, but that's not to say the Fold 7 is a slouch. And to prove that, here are some more of my favorite photos taken during my week with it. you open up the phone, you'll find the Fold 7 has one more camera, so let's talk about it. A few years ago, on the Z Fold 3, actually, Samsung made under-display cameras a thing. That way, users could have the best of both worlds, an internal camera without the distraction of a punch hole. The thing is, under-display cameras weren't that good, because to pull this off, there are basically pixels that cover some parts of the sensor. Take this selfie I took using last year's Z Fold 6 as an example. Those pixels give it this hazy look. On the Z Fold 7, Samsung went back to a better camera, but with a punch hole. Some might consider this an upgrade, some a downgrade. I'm curious, which camp are you on? If photo or video quality is a concern, it's definitely an upgrade. Selfies have more resolution, a wider field of view, and are better overall. But Fold users don't really use the internal camera for selfies, because you can use that main camera and get even higher quality selfies, all while using the cover screen to preview your shot. If you plan on using the inside camera for video calls, this new camera is definitely an upgrade. Part of me thinks this camera doesn't need to exist, especially since a lot of us would take selfies using the better camera on the outside of the phone. The only reason it probably exists is for video calls, so this is a sample recording using that inside camera on the Fold 7. And this is a similar recording using the inside camera on the Fold 6. Immediately, I can see the quality difference. It's a little bit fuzzy. It's not as wide, and I also don't have the option to record in 4K. This is a 1080p video, but I'm curious what you think based on the actual recordings. Let me know down below. I guess those who might consider this a downgrade might care more about aesthetics. I can see how this might look better than this, or this might look better than this. But then I thought about all the other ways that I use my Fold 7 as a tablet and if the punch hole is really a bother. On the Kindle app, or when playing an art-heavy game like Alto's Odyssey, sure, the punch hole is there, but I don't think it really matters. And then, if you're watching movies on Netflix or videos on YouTube, it won't really matter as well because of those black bars or how the video fills the screen. Personally, I'd rather have a better, more usable camera, even if the punch hole gets in the way. Or here's a more controversial opinion. Do we even really need that internal camera? Maybe we just get rid of it altogether. What about you? What do you guys think? And does the punch hole bother you? Let me know down below. Another thing that's got fans in a tizzy is the S Pen, or more specifically, the lack of S Pen support. Samsung says it prioritized thinness and as such, removed the digitizer layer. I love how discreet they were about it in the keynote where one layer just slid away. Personally, I don't buy it 100%. The ultra-thin glass, for example, is now 50% thicker, and then Samsung also added another layer of thin titanium underneath, all in an effort to improve durability over time. The thing is, Oppo's Find N5 is as thin as the Fold 7 and still has pen support.
You can use the Oppo Pen to scribble or write on either screen. So if you enjoy writing, mind mapping, or just doodling, be sure to check out the Find N5 combined with our stylus.
Some might argue that some folks don't even purchase an S Pen, and maybe those who do own one don't use it that much. I'm 100% confident that Samsung is committed to keeping the S Pen alive on the Galaxy S Ultra, which is basically the second coming of the Galaxy Note line. But I'd argue that the form factor of the Fold makes the most sense for an S Pen. It's large, notebook-like, so it's perfect for sketching and note-taking. I'd love to know if you think the lack of an S Pen is a deal breaker, so let me know in the comments. While not really relevant to this review, I've decided to put this bit in about the fingerprint scanner because it was a problem that I encountered and I found a solution, so maybe this might help you out. In the first few days with the Fold 7, I found that the fingerprint scanner was a bit cumbersome. It doesn't stick out as much as the Fold 6, and oftentimes it almost felt like it didn't register my touches, forcing me to have to enter my PIN code. But I found a solution, going into settings, screen lock and biometrics, fingerprints, and then turning on fingerprint always on. Doing that solved my problem. Now, one area where I had hoped for more is in terms of battery capacity. The Fold 7 has a 4,400 milliamp hour battery, the same as its predecessor. And thanks to a more efficient Snapdragon 8 Elite 4 Galaxy processor, this phone does last longer on average. About a full day with average use. Unfortunately, we don't live in a vacuum, and its competitors in China have already adopted silicon carbon batteries, which allow you to pack more capacity in a smaller amount of space. For example, the Oppo Find N5 has a 5,600 milliamp hour battery and is roughly the same size as the Fold 7. Coupled with its super efficient MediaTek Dimensity 9400 chip, that phone can last almost 2 days on a single charge. In fact, I took it on the world's longest flight, almost 19 hours, and it still had some battery life left over when I landed in Singapore. You can click up here to watch that. Most likely Samsung, Apple, even Google are choosing not to adopt this new tech just yet, and that could be because its potential benefits versus its cons need to be studied over time. So for now, I'm not going to complain a lot. The Fold 7 can get me through a full day, and that's all that matters. Top-ups are pretty standard too. You get 25-watt wired charging and 15-watt wireless charging. In my tests, using a 150-watt Anker charger I had lying around, I got to 18% in 10 minutes, 55% in 30, 91% after an hour. A full charge took 1 hour and 23 minutes. Third-party manufacturers are also making cases with magnetic rings. Apart from magnetic alignment, they also enable 15-watt wireless charging, which you can use with, say, a Qi 2 MagSafe battery pack. Over the last few years, Samsung has really taken the lead in building AI tools into their phones. They call it Galaxy AI, and all of those features that we saw on the S25 series are available here too. Among which, my favorite has still got to be Generative Edit, which does a better job at filling in whatever needs to go over objects or people that it's erased from a photo. It's probably still the best in the biz. I also like Audio Eraser, which does a great job at removing background noise from videos.
I love it, man. It's super thin, super light, and it's definitely my favorite foldable I've used yet.
The Fold 7 is one of the first phones to launch with Android 16, and Gemini integration is built into the OS, so everything feels seamless. Launched on the Fold 7 is gaming help, so you can, for example, circle to search while playing a game to perhaps look up the best strategy to beat a mob boss. You also now get the ability to share your screen and get help from Gemini based on whatever you have open, which is so helpful, especially on the large 8-inch display of the Fold 7. In the US, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 launches at $100 more than last year's asking price, which makes it the most expensive foldable out there. It starts at just under $2,000 for the model with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, $21.99 for the 512 gigabyte model, and $24.99 for the model with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. If you plan on picking one up between now and July 25 is the time to do so thanks to this amazing pre-order deal. First, you get an automatic storage upgrade. So, for example, you pay for the 256 gigabyte model, but get a 512 gigabyte model instead. Second, if you have something to trade in, like say last year's Fold 6, you'll get $1,000 off the price of your new Fold 7. Or third, if you don't have anything to trade in, Samsung is offering a $300 store credit. Plus, if you use our links, we'll give you an extra $50 credit for a total of $350 to use on accessories like cases, chargers, or even a Galaxy Watch. I looked at all the options, and this is how I'd spend those $350. You can pick up a 40mm Galaxy Watch 8, which Samsung also just announced. This one, which I have on right now, the discounted pre-order price for the Wi-Fi model is just $314.99, which leaves us with $35 more to spend. So why not this clear case from Samsung, which is $34.99. Now we're ready to check out. Notice for the price of a 256 gigabyte Fold 7, we get the 512 gigabyte model, a Watch 8, and a case. That's an incredible deal, and it's only available if you use our link, so make sure to click them down below. And don't forget, from clicking the link, you have 30 minutes to check out. So, is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 your gadget match? Let's face it, Samsung has a winner on its hands. They've made a super slim foldable that weighs less than an iPhone 16 Pro Max, but opens up into an 8-inch tablet. It's got an excellent main camera, superb battery life, and it's backed up by a close partnership with Google. If you're in the market for a foldable smartphone, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 comes with a GadgetMatch seal of approval. And that was our review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. I definitely want to keep using this phone, but in the meantime, I need to move into the Flip 7. If you'd like to see that video, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we post that video. Follow me on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun, travel, and fashion. And for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm MICHAELJOSH. Thanks for dropping by.